Well, hello, YouTubers. This is Casual of World of Tanks. This time in the fjords. Um, my statistics are broke right now. I haven't really delved into it that much because I'm not flipping out over it at the moment. But this was an exciting fight for me. I think the beginning entry screen said we had like a 47% chance of winning, something ballpark around there. Um, and we end up doing really well. So I hope that you enjoy the replay. Now, in the beginning, things look a little awkward because I'm actually tabbed out doing another game at the moment. And so I tab back over, and oh, thank God I didn't shoot one of our tanks. And I've already expended 2 rounds, so I go ahead and I kill the magazine off, spin the other 2 so it'll reload. My thought here on this map is I'm going to run out here and I'm going to get close to some hardcover, but out in the open a little bit behind some concealment, some shrubbery, trees, whatnot, so that way I can maybe spot tanks as they come back down this road here to try and come around this flank, this northern flank towards our base. So I'm kind of near some hard cover that I can get behind if I need to be. And I'm just waiting here, waiting to see what we spot. So we've got some other light tanks that are doing some scouting. They're doing the right thing, and you can see some stuff that's starting to pop up on the mini-map. And nobody's coming this way, it looks like. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to sit here the whole game and wait for tanks that aren't going to show up. So I'm going to go get this medium, this M2. Now, granted, I'm in a tier 4 light tank, and this is a tier 3 medium, but I don't have a problem with it. I wait for my gun to settle down, and I drop 4 rounds into him. Bam! I only needed 3, though. So it was kind of a waste. And then all of a sudden I realized that, oh, I got a light tank looking at my butt. The pucker factor was high. But I got him. That's my second tank of the game. So this guy's made a pot shot at me and he's missed. So I'm going to see if I can't put some rounds through that turret. And I do, and he hits me. And I flipped out a little bit, forgot how to drive my tank, ran into somebody else. And he doesn't seem to be edging back up to try and get me, so I'm going to go get him. And he's backing up, and now he's gone. And that's 3, baby. 3. So now I'm looking for my next victim. And I'm not seeing anything quite right here, so now I want to move up to where I can shoot at these guys, but from a different angle from these light tanks that are approaching. And I'm hoping to have multiple layers of concealment between me and what I'm shooting at. And I do at this point. I'll find something else. Start putting rounds on this T-40. Now I use a tier 4 tank destroyer. But not anymore. That's 4, baby. 4 kills. I scoot up a little bit to try and get at this guy here, and he's juking back and forth. And I decide, oh, this heavy is just head on with me. I can put rounds into his lower glacis and do some hurting. And I do. I'm putting rounds through his glacis. I leave him with one hit point. And I tracked him, but I wasn't going to get him. So I scoot up this way so that I can get head on with him again. And I miss because I didn't wait for my gun to settle down. He hits me. And I'm moving. I see this TD up here, and I see his butt. And I'm going to take him. Let that guy shoot. Back out. And there you go. That's 5 kills. Now, these tanks, they run down here, and they're like, this guy's got 1 hit point. We're going to get him. And they take their shot at him, and they miss. And I come out here, and with the gun bouncing, I do end up putting a round into his lower glacis, and I kill him. And here's my little victory dance, because that's 6 tanks, baby. That's Top Gun. Yes! I'm excited. I've been having such a tough night up to this point. You really would not have wanted to see replays of any of the other fights that I've had tonight, because they have just been tough. The last guy on the map is up down here. I'm going to see if I can't get to him. But I don't make it in time because I guess my little victory dance cost me killing a 7th tank. But that's the game. We win. So, out of that, I got a lot of really neat stuff. I got my Ace Tanker badge for this particular tank. So that was super exciting. And let's see if that will be the cover for this, as a matter of fact. The thumbnail for this particular one. So it was in the Covenanter, and I got my Master Tanker badge. I got Sharpshooter. I got some other really cool stuff. To be honest with you, it was so awesome. Yeah, I did the most damage on the map course. You know, it's hard to not get mastery and to get Top Gun and not end up doing the most damage. But I did the most damage. I get the most EXP and everything. I walked away from that with 904 XP. It was not my first one of the game, or first one of the day, so it wasn't doubled. Actually, right now they're being times 5 right now because of an event. But not bad for a tier 4 game. Walked away with 904 XP. Walked away with 1,800 credits, silver that is. So that was super exciting. And that was my tier 4 British light tank, the Covenanter. Hello again, guys. I figured that after the last replay, it might be kind of neat to actually show you the way that the tank is laid out. Now, I've almost made my way through the Tier 4 British Light to get to the Tier 5. And from listening to people like Mighty Jingles talk about it, that tank is supposed to be pretty cool. And I really can't wait for it. So I figured I'd show you this particular tank, the Tier 4 Covenanter, in the garage, and show you how I had it set up for that fight. If you notice, I don't have 100% crew. I don't have a whole lot of gold and stuff, and I don't really spend money on the video game. You know, I spent some when they had a deal a couple weeks ago and got a bunch of extra garage slots at 150 gold apiece. I put in like $7. I figured, you know, hey, I've had a lot of fun with the video game. $7, not that big a deal. I can get enough garage slots that I can kind of hold on to some of the tanks that I think have been fun so far. So this particular tank, the Tier 4 British light tank, the Covenanter, like I was saying, I've almost worked my way through it, but you see I'm not rocking gold ammo in the thing. I was just using armor piercing on this particular fight. And looking in here, now I've had a couple of different guns on this one. I've had the derp gun on it, the howitzer, and I had a lot of fun with it, but to be honest with you, I either play one of two ways. I'm either in your face, you know, trying to get behind you and screw your tank into the ground, or I'm sniping from a distance. And the derp gun really didn't do either of those things very well, to be honest with you. I didn't do very good with it, to be honest with you. It didn't fit my particular playstyle. I switched over to this flat gun, this 40 millimeter gun here for the last few fights that I've had in the Covenanter. And to be honest with you, I wish I'd have been running this one the whole time. It's got much better penetration than the derp gun. I mean, you look at it, 38 to 63 for armor piercing. The damage is only 50. So you really are counting on getting those rounds into the target. Now, the disadvantage of that, though, is when you pull the trigger on this particular weapon system, you don't fire one round at a time. You've got realistically 4 shells in the magazine, but one trigger squeeze is 2 rounds. You know, so you're only really getting 2 groups of 2, and the the barrel movement on the weapon system is such that you do have to be in tight with it if you're going to land all 4 of those rounds on target, if you're just going to let them run. I did in that fight land 4 rounds on that light tank that was coming up behind me, and he was at, close to medium range, realistically. And I did get the rounds on target with that, but I got kind of lucky on that too. I started low on him in his lower glacius plate, and I let the barrel work its way up. The derp gun, like I was saying, I didn't have a lot of luck with. It didn't suit me, but it might work out for you. I didn't go after the biggest radio, and I don't think that I'm going to do it in this particular tank, just because of the fact that I've had a really hard time in the Covenanter, and I can't wait to get into the Crusader. So I'm going to actually hold on to those 4,000 experience points. I might actually hold on to this tank. I might go back and get it. Because to be honest with you, in the last couple of fights, I really have had a lot of fun in the tank. It's been a lot more enjoyable once I put on this 40 millimeter flat gun than it has been with the 3-inch derp cannon. So, but I mean, I've unlocked everything except for that last radio. You can see I'm using the better tracks on the vehicle, using the better engine on the vehicle. Typically, when I get into a new tank, I do unlock those first, just because I'm a maneuverable kind of player. I like to be able to move on the map from position to position. It suits me pretty well. I like to be able to get out someplace where I can set up an ambush point and then wait for the tanks to come into me. That's kind of my particular play style. You see, I tried to do it on that map, but the enemy tanks really didn't cooperate. So I did unlock these other radios in another tank, in a lower tier tank. So they were already unlocked and available to me in this one. I went ahead and purchased the radios. Loaded that one on a tank. I upgraded the turret on it, even though I probably shouldn't have, just because I was hating it. I was like, why did I even spend EXP on the motor and tracks? I just want to get out of this tank. I desperately wanted to get out of this tank. But then again, to get to the Crusader, you have to go through the turret anyway, so I was going to have to unlock that. I didn't have to unlock the flat cannon, but to be honest with you, after watching some videos from some other people, it looked like it was fun, and I thought it might be neat to get up behind somebody and just dump a bunch of machine gun fire basically into their back end. And as you saw, I did it to a tank in this particular match, and it worked out pretty well for me because I got that TD that way. But that's the way that the Covenanter was set up for this particular fight. I mean, looking at it, I'm not running anything special. I don't have any equipment slots because I don't have a whole lot of extra silver to spend on them. I'm not using gold ammo. I wasn't even loading HE in this tank, to be honest with you. I'm using the standard repair kit, the standard first aid kit, and the standard manual fire extinguisher. Most of the time on my tanks, I do go ahead and I spend it in silver, but I do get the better repair kit and medical kit just because it prevents damage to your tank crew with the better medical kit. And the better repair kit actually improves your repair speed by 25%. The only time I'll spend the repair kit is if the gun is damaged. So if my weapon is taken out and then I can't fight, I'm going to have to repair it. But otherwise, I just let the crew repair the tracks and stuff like that. So, but that is the Tier 4 British Light Covenanter. It's in the tech tree here, working your way towards the British medium tanks. The next tank is the Crusader. Like I've said, I'm really looking forward to that. And then from then on, it's the mediums. You start with the Cromwell and work your way through that line. But again, until next time, peace, love, and video games. I'm out.